mentioned, I took a very long time to come to project 3. I think it was almost 1 year for my project. Okay, my title today is One More Day. And like what you mentioned, I like to read boring books. Fortunately, this is not a very boring book. It's actually one of the books I picked up after reading a lot of heavy books like those supposedly motivational books, etc. So I was in Times Bookshop, and this happens to be on a display table, one of the latest releases. It's named One More Day by Mitch Albom. You might have heard about him. He's actually the author who wrote Tuesday Morris and 5 People You Met in Heaven. I have not read Tuesday Morris, I've read 5 People. I thought it was okay, not too bad. But this book, why I picked it up was because it was quite thin. The words were pretty big, and it had a very attractive red cover. Right, so I started browsing through it. There was about a few chapters, so I read through probably about 3 chapters. I have this very bad habit. I think Kindle Pini and Borders probably hate me. I have this habit of finishing books. I just stand there and read for the whole day at the bookshops. So I read about 3 chapters. This book is about this guy called Chick Veneto. It is about him, but it is actually about the power of his mother's love and the chances that he had missed. So the story goes that they introduced Chick Veneto as a passe baseball player who is now currently a very down and out salesperson who's not really doing very well in his life because he kept remembering about his glorious, very short baseball career. His wife has left him, and his mother, who he thought loved him the most in the whole world, has also left. And the last straw came when he received in his mailbox a photo from his daughter. It was actually her wedding photo, and he wasn't invited. So he thought, life is not worth living for anymore. So he got into his, I think he made a call to his wife and told her some strange things about some suicidal thought, etc. He got into his car and started driving out looking for an accident. So it really did happen because like what Victoria mentioned, when you think about it hard enough, it would happen. So his car actually went across a barrier and it flipped over and it actually landed on the ground. There was a lot of wreckages, etc. So he, of course, passed out, and the next thing he knew, he was actually transported back to his childhood home. So this is not really what do you call it, not a really Harry Potter story that you get teleported back, but it was actually in his thoughts. So he was transported back to his childhood home in his mind, and his mother was there. So he was very surprised and said, "Mom, what are you doing? Why are you dead? That's why I'm seeing you here in heaven." His mom told him and said, "No, you're not dead, you're still alive." So they spent the whole day going through what the mother had gone through in her last few years of her life, and there was a lot of reminiscing and thinking. So what actually moved me a lot was something that is very similar, because we always take our parents for granted. So for Chick, he always wanted to be his father's son, to play baseball, to excel, but his mom was there all the time for him, and he just took it for granted that his mother will always be there. Okay. So that was what I thought about these 3 chapters. I read it, so I bought it. So this story is about chances that he lost. So the story went on to write about more things about what his mom has done for him and what he has not done for his mom. And the times when he was feeling very down, his mother was there for him, but not vice versa. So it's a story about regrets and everything. Okay, it reminded me a lot of myself because sometimes I found myself that, okay, I'm very busy. I would take my parents for granted and say, okay, I'll do this for them tomorrow. I will tell them I love them tomorrow, but remember, it's the present today. So when tomorrow comes, like for him, it was a very deep regret for him that he didn't do a lot of things for his mother. So for yourself, think about it. Is it the present today? Is it the moment? Or is it really tomorrow? Because if you think about it, it's always today, but never tomorrow. There are kinds of things that you want to do tomorrow, but it's always the next day. Whether or not you get it done may or may not come true. So I would like to say that today is the moment, and what we have is now, and we should appreciate for what we are and stop thinking about what we were then, what were the great things we had done previously, but what are you doing now? And also, and try to keep your relationship that you have in present, like for your loved ones. Do you cherish them enough? Do you tell them that you love them? When have you last given your mother a hug and said, "Hey mom, I love you"? Okay. And if you had the chance, just one chance, okay, to spend one more day with someone you have lost, if you have, what will you do? Okay, so thank you. My name is Zui Wei.